Hey crew, what it do? It's your girl, A-True. You guys are watching my YouTube channel. So today, we're gonna do another story time because I haven't vlogged at all anything today, because I got some really sad news. Today I'm gonna be telling you guys the story of how I got my heart broken, because that's what happened today. And I know that a lot of people are probably wondering and thinking, like, why is this girl putting this on the internet? You know, why is she talking to YouTube about it? Is it for attention, or does she hope that he'll see it, or whatever you're thinking? And I don't really have an answer for you. I just know that the pain is so bad, and it just fills my chest. I just need to let it out. I just need to tell somebody what happened, because I don't know what happened. I'm going to take you back to almost a year ago, to May. It was May 10th. I had a date with another boy, and that's the boy that we're going to be talking about today. And for the story, I think we'll call him Gabe, because I don't want to use his real name, mostly because I don't want to say it. But Gabe had asked if I wanted to go out with him on a sunset trail walk or hike, whatever you want to call it, and I said yes. I also remember hoping that he would cancel because on Friday, the day of our date, I worked 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at one job, and I had the night off Friday night. And then Saturday, I had to work 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. again. And also, after on Saturday, I was going to the Ariana Grande concert with my best friend Dan the Man, who you guys know is the one who gave me the balloon. So I was just really tired after work, and I knew that I had a really, really long day ahead of me the next day. And so I was like, oh, I don't really want to go. It's not even like we're going to sit down at dinner. This guy wants to go on a walk. So it's not even like I can rest. But I'm not the type of person who bails, unless I absolutely have to. So when he texted me when I got off work and said, are we still on for 6 o'clock? I said, yep. And I went. And I remember at the time, just being so incredibly happy that I went, because I felt like I liked him instantly, and I felt this instant connection, which I guess now was only on my end. But he was so unlike any other guy that I had ever met. Not even just dating wise. He was just unreal to me. To me, guys like him only existed in my head, and guys like him only existed in the movies and in books. But there was one standing right there in front of me, and he was on a date with me. Of all people, I couldn't believe that I had gotten so lucky, and I felt like he was everything I ever wanted. He hit all the check marks. He came from a big family, and he was a gentleman, not a pig. And he didn't want to use me just for sex. And he liked to be outside, and he thought Apple Watches were stupid. And he went camping, and, he wasn't attached to his cell phone. He had zero social media, and I just remember liking him so much from that first date. And I went back to work the next day, and I told everybody about him, and I told Dan the Man all about him at the concert, and, we started dating. And I will say, I live in Las Vegas, if I didn't mention that. He was out here working on a job. So this was May, and he'd been out here since April. He worked out at Hoover Dam, and he was only supposed to be here 5 weeks. So he was only supposed to be here until the first week of June, maybe second week of June. And so like I knew from the beginning that he wasn't, you know, gonna stay, that he wasn't here long term, but I'm such a go for it and go with the flow type of person, you know, that I was like, well, let's just see like what happens, you know, like I could go on like 3 dates with this guy and find out that he's a Trump supporter, you know, and then it's like donezo. Like that's my one thing. Like I would never date a Trump supporter. And so I just, you know, it was only our first date, so even though he told me that, I wasn't like, oh, well, I'm gonna go then, you know? I wasn't even sure if I was, like, looking for my Prince Charming or looking for the guy that I was gonna marry. I mean, like, yeah, I was sick of, like, being used all the time, and I was sick of all the Tinder guys and, you know, just the ugly messages that I would get, you know? Like, they don't even put a hello in. They're just like, hey, sit on my face. And it's just like, who raised you that you think that that's, like, okay to message somebody like right away? And like I know it's just like the dating app world, like I get it, and don't get me wrong, like I'm not necessarily any better. Like I have a fuck buddy list like 7, 9, 11 guys long, you know, like I use them too, but there's guys that are like straightforward about what they want, and then there's the liars and the cowards who like pretend that they want something else, and they take you on dates, or just a date maybe, typically just a date, and then they hit it and quit it. And like those are the ones that make me mad. If you are straight up with me and you're like, hey, listen, like I'm just looking for friends with benefits or whatever it is, then most likely we can work something out. But if you're a pig right off the bat, like I'm not talking to you. Or if you hit it and quit it, like why did we even waste our time going on a date and getting to know each other? Like there was just no point, in my opinion. And this has nothing to do with the story. Anyway, he was out here supposed to be working till the end of June. So we went on our first date May 10th. And then our second date was 2 weeks later because he had gone out of town for a wedding on his other days off, or on the following week's days off. And so when he came back, our second date was a picnic in the park. And it was actually really rainy that week. And I remember thinking like, oh, it's not going to be fun if we're like sitting in the rain the whole time, because who wants to do that on a date? And then he was like, I love the rain. And I was like, well, me too. But he said like, no, like if we get to enjoy the rain together, that's even better. And I was just really happy that he had that outlook, because I love the rain. Not that it would probably be my first choice to sit in it on a date and just like sit on a bench in the pouring rain, but you get my point. So bringing us to our third date, which is actually like the most important date of all.